Well, I'm standing on the street right outside Parliament right now. And down this street we can see smoke. I think it's tear gas. We can see police firing tear gas at protesters. We see plumes of smoke coming from other nearby parts of the city centre. There's a very heavy police presence. There are also some protesters near the Parliament building. But what we saw on live video feeds just a short while ago, some people who appeared to be shot, being carried away, people with what appeared to be gunshot wounds. We saw video of plainclothes security operatives carrying weapons who appeared to be shooting at demonstrators. And then we also heard that, as you mentioned, that some of the demonstrators have managed to enter the Parliament building. Right now it appears to be secured. I'm standing just outside the fence, but there's still protest activity and police in the street immediately outside.
Tonight, East Africa is confronting a dangerous erosion of democracy as Kenya, long seen as a regional model of openness, faces a wave of repression that observers say rivals its neighbors, Uganda and Tanzania. This is One Africa News Network. Kenya has for decades prided itself on progressive laws that protect fundamental freedoms, including the right to protest. But that reputation is now under intense scrutiny. A surge in heavy-handed crackdowns has left citizens and human rights advocates questioning whether Kenya is sliding into the same authoritarian patterns that have defined its neighbors. In recent weeks, at least 10 Kenyans were killed when nationwide demonstrations erupted against President William Ruto's government. Security forces responded not with dialogue, but with tear gas, bullets, and attempts to silence independent media by banning live coverage of the protests. One respected newspaper headline branded the administration a rogue regime, describing how young people gathered in remembrance of those killed a year earlier during mass anti-tax protests. Instead of empathy, they were met by barricades, armored trucks, and what many are calling the cold hand of state violence. Interior Minister Kipchumba Murkomen defended the crackdown, arguing that police displayed what he called remarkable restraint in quelling what he described as an attempted coup. He accused demonstrators of looting, attacking police stations, and injuring 300 officers. But Kenya's own law society strongly condemned what it called unnecessary aggression, stating bluntly that such brutality has no place in a free society. This wave of repression has been punctuated by tragedy. Just weeks earlier, 31-year-old blogger and teacher Albert Ojwang died in police custody after being accused of defamation. An autopsy revealed he suffered fatal injuries while detained. His death sparked further protests in Nairobi. During the demonstrations, a street vendor caught in the chaos was shot at close range and remains in critical condition. Kenya's Law Society described the shooting as indefensible in any democracy. For years, Kenyans were seen by neighbors in Uganda and Tanzania as proof that citizens could challenge power and win reforms. But that image is now rapidly fading. Tanzanian opposition leader Tundu Lissu, who survived an assassination attempt after being shot 16 times, once praised Kenya's democratic gains. Today, he sits in a Tanzanian jail, facing treason charges that could carry the death penalty. Lissu's party, Chadema, has been barred from elections after refusing to sign a code of conduct they said would cripple their ability to campaign. In Uganda, opposition figure Kizza Besigye has been detained since November on allegations he plotted to overthrow the government, a charge he denies. These events have sparked warnings of a broader regional crisis, not of economics or trade, but of democracy itself. Kenyan human rights advocate Martha Karua, once the country's justice minister, says East Africa faces a democratic emergency. She warns that the erosion of civil rights in Kenya, Tanzania, and Uganda could destabilize the region for years to come. Karua cited more than 80 abductions in Kenya over the past year, cases in which victims say they were seized by unidentified men. Many believe these are enforced disappearances designed to silence dissent. Evidence is also mounting that regional governments are collaborating to stifle opposition across borders. Last November, Ugandan opposition leader Besigye disappeared while visiting Nairobi. 4 days later, he appeared before a military court in Kampala. Ugandan authorities claimed he was negotiating arms deals to start a rebellion. Kenya's government initially denied involvement, but later admitted certain issues led to his removal. 2 months after Besigye's ordeal, Tanzanian activist Maria Sarungi was abducted in Nairobi by armed men who reportedly choked her and forced her into a vehicle. She was eventually released but believes her work as a whistleblower and critic of Tanzania's president made her a target. Kenyan activist Boniface Mwangi and Ugandan lawyer Agathe Atuhaire were also detained in Tanzania after traveling there to support opposition leader Lissu. Upon their release, they alleged they were sexually assaulted by Tanzanian police, a claim authorities deny. Despite the outrage, Kenya's President Ruto chose not to condemn the reported abuse. Instead, he issued a public apology to the Tanzanian government, pledging that Kenyans would not meddle in their neighbors' politics. Observers like international relations professor Macharia Munene say Ruto's apology reflected a desire to appease Tanzania's government and keep activists in check ahead of regional elections. But critics argue that such compromises embolden repressive regimes and betray Kenya's own democratic ideals. Human rights defenders say the crackdown has only strengthened their resolve. Mwangi declared, "If these governments are united in oppressing their citizens, then we must be united in fighting to remove them from power." As Kenya and its neighbors stand at a crossroads, one question remains. Can East Africa reclaim its promise of democracy, or will the region surrender to the darkness of fear and repression? We will continue to follow this story as it develops. Thank you for watching One Africa News. Kindly subscribe and stay up to date with our latest news updates. Like, comment, and share our videos with your content with your friends and family. Disclaimer: the content of this video is based on credible publicly available information and is intended for educational, analytical, and informational purposes only. One Africa News does not promote hate, violence, misinformation, or political unrest. Our goal is to deliver thoughtful insights, highlight local voices, and encourage informed conversations throughout Africa.